नमस्कार दोस्तों और जय हिंद। आप सभी को स्वागत है इन माय चैनल 1971 वॉर बुक सीरीज। तो दोस्तों, आज हम एक थोड़ा डिफरेंट एक पर्सनालिटी के साथ बात करेंगे। अगर आपने मेरा पिछला कुछ वीडियोस देखे होंगे तो आपको पता होगा फॉर श्योर कि मुक्ति वाहिनी का जो लीडरशिप था, जो एक्चुअली भारतीय फौज के साथ मिलके बहुत सारे ऑपरेशंस कंडक्ट किए थे इनसाइड बांग्लादेश अगेंस्ट द पाकिस्तानी फोर्सेस, जो लीडरशिप एक्चुअली बना राइट फ्रॉम द डे ऑफ कमेंसमेंट ऑफ ऑपरेशन सर्चलाइट बाय द पाकिस्तानी फोर्सेस, जहां पे हजारों के तादाद पे बंगाली लोग, बंगाली personnel in the Pakistani armed forces were being killed by the Pakistani army। इसके बाद मुक्ति वाहिनी का लीडरशिप एस्टैब्लिश किया। All the Bengali personnel who had defected and revolted against the Pakistani army and started their own fight from wherever they could against the Pakistani military inside East Pakistan। ऐसा एक बंगाली ऑफिसर का नाम है कैप्टन एटीएम हैदर, जो पाकिस्तानी फौज के स्पेशल सर्विसेज ग्रुप में थे। He was a Bengali commando and he was actually present at Mainamati cantonment in Kumilla। और जब इस कैंटोनमेंट में पाकिस्तानी फौज ने हमला करके बंगाली सोल्जर्स को मारना शुरू किए, वो इस कैंटोनमेंट से भाग के भारत में आके मुक्ति वाहिनी का ट्रेनिंग कैंप एस्टैब्लिश करके ढाका शहर में एक के बाद एक गेरिला ऑपरेशंस किया, सेंडिंग मुक्ति वाहिनी फाइटर्स to cause sabotage in the city of Dhaka right under the noses of the Pakistani military। This man कैप्टन एटीएम हैदर, जो बाद में बांग्लादेश आर्मी ज्वाइन किया एज अ मेजर एंड इवेंचुअली रोज टू द रैंक ऑफ अ लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल, was also given the Bir Uttam Gallantry Award by the Bangladesh government for his exceptional services in the liberation war of Bangladesh। He had worked closely with many Indian army officers in the 71 war। आज उनके बहन कैप्टन सितारा बेगम, जो खुद पाकिस्तानी आर्मी के मेडिकल कोर में कमीशन हुए थे एंड हैड आल्सो डिफेक्टेड फ्रॉम पाकिस्तानी मिलिट्री सर्विस अलोंगसाइड हर ब्रदर कैप्टन एटीएम हैदर, और भारत में आके उन्होंने बिश्रमगंज के बांग्लादेश फील्ड हॉस्पिटल में काम किए थे टू सेव द लाइव्स ऑफ काउंटलेस मुक्ति वाहिनी पीपल एंड आल्सो हेल्पिंग आउट Indian BSF and Indian Army personnel and treating their wounds as well। Captain Sitara Begum has also been awarded the Bir Protik Gallantry Award by the Bangladesh government and later had joined the Bangladesh Army after Bangladesh being an independent country, just like her own brother। तो आज हम बात करेंगे with such a personality who has been present since the very day of the commencement of Operation Searchlight to the liberation of Bangladesh, जिनका contributions रहा immensely in saving lives of countless Mukti Bahini fighters, जिनका family legacy रहा है with the Bangladesh Liberation War। Let's welcome Captain Sitara Begum to our program today। Also दोस्तों, Captain Sitara Begum, उनका memory actually is fading। So, उनका हस्बैंड कैप्टन डॉक्टर रहमान भी रहेंगे to help her talk about her experiences during the 71 war, and he was also a freedom fighter, Mukti Jodha freedom fighter and later a commissioned officer in the Bangladesh army। वो भी बात करेंगे हमारे साथ alongside कैप्टन सितारा बेगम to help her talk and help her bring back her memories, ताकि आप सब लोग और दुनिया कैप्टन बेगम और उनके फैमिली के कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस के बारे में जान पाए।
Okay, after I graduated from Dhaka Medical College, I had to do the residency for 1 year, 6 months in OB/GYN and 6 months in ENT. Okay. And after that, it's a long story. One of our gynecologists, Firoza, Dr. Firoza মারা গেছেন। So her brother-in-law, he was in army। Okay। His name is Shiraj Jinnat। He was an urologist। So I met him. So I was interested to join army.
How did you meet him?
Oh, we went to Brahmanbaria tour, medical tour with.
Is it okay if I inject time to time? So our memory is kind of fading, so I have to inject time and location.
Sir,
Okay.
could you repeat that?
Yeah. Is it okay if I interject in the discussions?
Definitely,
She
definitely.
lose the continuity and the time and place.
Right, right.
So when she was doing house staff training, she volunteered to the clinic. So she did volunteer in the charitable work for the women care in Feni and Brahmanbaria. That's where she met Colonel Shiraz Jinnat. And he was a brother-in-law of Professor Firoza Begum. So that's how she encountered him. No, go.
Yeah, then I asked.
For the Pakistani army, right?
No, he was a colonel in Pakistan Army
Pakistan
then.
Army.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I talked to him and he said, "Why don't you meet me and I'll give you a signature so he can join the Army Medical Corps." So I met him, and with that signature, I applied to the Army Medical Corps, and I was accepted. And my brother, Colonel Haider, he was already in Army. He was a captain, commanding of SSG,
Right.
Special Service Group. Yeah. So he was also encouraged me to join, and that's the way I joined the army.
Right.
After that,
When did you join?
July, I think. I don't
April
remember.
1971.
1971.
April
I joined. Yeah.
No, 1970.
1970.
Yeah. So from there, me and my brother, I had a privilege leave for 1 month. We came to celebrate Eid
Okay.
to our house in Kishoreganj
Where are you? Came from where?
from Kumilla, Kumilla cantonment. From there, me and my brother, both of us, we came to Kishoreganj to celebrate Eid. So after he had a
Short vacation.
he was about 7 days he could stay, and he left and went back to Kumilla. He was a 3rd battalion of SSG.
Right.
He used to work there. And after that, maybe 2 weeks or 1 week later, we heard that is a problem in Dhaka. But nothing was, nothing was talked to about the war or whatever it is in Dhaka happening. Because all the papers and everything was controlled by the Pak army.
Okay.
I don't know how much you know about the history that
Light, right, sir?
before that, after the election, after the overwhelming majority of the Pakistan parliament by Awami League, they were expected to take the power, and Mujib was expected to be prime minister, but all the dickering by Yahya Khan and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto
Right.
didn't really, in fact, go in direction they expected. In fact, and now retrospectively we know there was not their plan to hand over the power anyway. So what she's talking about when she came in vacation middle of February till March, in fact the National Assembly for Constitutional Assembly of the Pakistan was supposed to be held in Dhaka in
Right.
March 12th, but that was cancelled on 28 February. So that's where the movement started. They demanded the autonomy and they continued all this movement, but she was in Kishorganj. I was in Mymensingh then,
Okay.
but we didn't feel that kind of strong vibe of what's going on in Dhaka. So that's what he's talking about. A lot of movements and a lot of protests, a lot of what they call as non-cooperative movement.
Right.
So non-cooperative movements.
What I can say, that a very popular speech on 7th March, which actually made it very go wild.
Exactly. Well, that was expected, but everybody expected you'll direct the people what to do. But indirectly, he says now our struggle is for freedom. Everybody should be ready to fight. So that was indirectly, but not directly. We are free and we should be independent. But it is
At
still.
that time, ma'am, where you were at Kishorganj.
Kishorganj, yeah. And my brother came already fighting whatever it is happening in Dhaka, killing people. My brother, we are worried about him because we couldn't have any news where he is.
He was
No
in
communication.
the Kumilla cantonment at that time. I think he escaped the Kumilla cantonment massacre.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he did.
Escaped on 27th or 26th.
Yeah, he escaped. That is also very, I mean, he was commando, so he know how to do what to do it.
Right.
There is another story about that, how he escaped. So he with one Indian major and Captain Nasim. He was Captain
Captain.
Nasim, the brigadier general.
Now he retired as Lieutenant General, I think.
Yeah,
Lieutenant General.
Lieutenant General. They came to our house and they had dinner, excuse me, and they went to blow the breeze between Mymensingh and Kishorganj.
Okay.
So after they came home, I told my dad, let's go with them. Because it was very sad condition because they are killing people. My dad said, oh, where you are going? You cannot go there. But after they left, about 10 or 15 days later, there was a কি বলে ওটাকে plane hovering in Kishorganj because they knew people are protesting, freedom fighter.
Right.
So at that time we went to one of my uncle's in-law's house.
Okay.
We stayed there 3-4 days and we came back again. And then I told my dad that they know my address and my brother's address. They are looking for us. In the meantime, I got lots of telegram from the commanding officer, Kumila CMH. And my father said she is sick, she cannot move and that, all this. So we came to
leave at that time, I guess.
1 month
1 month.
privilegely.
Her leave was ended in middle of March.
Okay.
She came home on 1 month leave in middle of February and ended in middle of March. So she's still there with knowing that.
And many Bengali officers in the Pakistani army, they were either on leave or they were being massacred and they defected automatically.
Well, there are, unfortunately, there are not many on the leave, but there are many Pakistani officers in Pakistan. I mean, Bengali officers in Pakistan. They are already transferred from Eastern Wing. They transferred. I think the First Bengal Regiment from Chittagong to West Pakistan, and they also transferred.
I think it was East Bengal. They were going to be transferred, but Yeah.
But they already transferred other East Bengal from
But
Chittagong,
yeah, but that was, I think,
yeah, another battalion, and they also transferred the mid-level many Bengali officers
right, right.
to Pakistan. So retrospectively, this has been going on since the election. We have evidence that the things were being cooked up by the army after the election because they thought they are not will be able to subdue it without the massive
Okay.
suppression, and that's what we in East Pakistan thought there will be suppression, but nobody really thought about these massive atrocities they were anyway. So from where?
I mean, you also decided to revolt and defect, right? Because you wanted to join
I
the.
didn't have any choice. I had to because if I join, they will pinpoint me and they will try to talk about my brother because they knew he left.
Right.
He left Bangladesh,
Well,
East Pakistan, and went to India.
Mm-hmm.
And the Colonel, me, the commanding officer of CMH, Kumila CMH, sent me 2-3 telegrams. Join there, join there. So my dad didn't send me because he said this is a trap. You shouldn't join. So I didn't join.
Right.
In the meantime, there's a lots of event like I came to my sister house in Dhaka.
Mm-hmm.
My brother came with another officer. So he said, why you are here? I said, I am going to join. Well, no, don't join. Go back to Bangladesh, Kishoreganj. That is the reason.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then you decided to, I mean, go to India.
Yes. When my brother and Captain Nasim and another major from Indian Army came,
Mm-hmm.
I told my dad, just go with them. That he was not encouraged. What are you going to do there? No, you are not.
Ma'am, do you know
But
the name
when
of the Indian Army major?
no, no,
No, sure. We have been trying to track it. Unfortunately,
no.
it was
I
a.
can find. I'll try to see that.
If you do, we'd like to know the name. It'll be very
Because there
helpful.
have been many officers from the artillery, Indian Army artillery, who was there in the area where Captain Haider and Major Khalid Musharraf were present. They talked about Captain Haider. So maybe they can help. I'll try to find out.
I think they are on April 4th, so it's a very early period.
Okay.
I believe in the mid part of the or late part of the first week of April. I don't know the exact date. That time, Indian Army was not really directly involved with Bangladesh forces. It was mostly from BSF.
BSF.
I think what was this? Was it Pandey? Brigadier Pandey was directing the coordinations because they had a meeting with Brigadier Pandey and district.
Right.
Tripura, they had the meeting with the district commissioners and some other civil officials, and Brigadier Pandey and his staff.
My dad was a police officer
Mm-hmm.
in Calcutta.
Okay.
During the Liberation War, same thing, partition.
Mm-hmm.
He hidely, somehow secretly came to East Pakistan.
Would like to share a bit about your experience of like escaping to India from Kishoreganj.
Okay, we are staying with one of my mother grandfather's house,
Okay.
and one day my brother sent 2 freedom fighter,
Okay.
one with the pistol and one is a grenade.
Okay.
And he wrote short letter with the pencil that if I got caught, so I can commit suicide. So I used to carry the grenade in my saris, actually, বেঁধে রাখতাম. আর পিস্তলটা আমার ব্লাউজের ভিতরে ঢুকিয়ে রাখতাম, ওইভাবেই ছিলাম।
Okay.
তো then he wrote a letter so that Pakistani people is looking for the uh, family who was not joining or who joined the army freedom fighter, and their killings. And my dad got little scared, so we went. With my mom and my dad and one of my sister daughter was with us. Went to Nilganj as another, what is called boat. Nilganj.
Newlands Port.
Yeah, this hut in bordering the Kishorganj Tower.
Yeah, so we went there and we were there about, we reached out in the evening and then the boat, and we started with the boat to several places. We used to stay at night, somebody's house, but we didn't mention that my brother is a Captain Haider and I am in army. So after that, there's a lots of happening. We came to Mitamoin, the previous president Hamid.
Okay.
So we stayed there 3-4 days, and one day we saw a river. His house next to river. So we saw one big barge is coming, and everybody was thinking the Pakistani army is coming. And my dad, he was nervous, and he told me, if they come, you just go in the river.
Okay.
It didn't happen. Then we came to know it's not Indian army, it's a barge, ship barge. So from there, again in the boat, we stayed about 7-8 days on the boat. And from there, we came to Teker Ghat. That's a long story. We came to Teker Ghat. In the Teker Ghat, and my dad was very worried and about me, what will happen. In the meantime, when we were in President Hamid's house, there's a, and my dad didn't tell that anybody that I am a physician and I am in army.
Okay.
So my dad, one of the freedom fighter was hurt by firing Pakistan army and freedom fighter. So my dad says, okay, I didn't tell you my daughter is a doctor. So I went with 2 people with the hurricane land to the village, maybe quarter a mile, walked, not quarter a mile, less than that. And we saw the guy who had shot on his shoulder.
Okay.
I couldn't do anything. And local doctor came and stitched it. And I told him, put some antiseptic, and I just came out. After we left, we took again another boat, big boat. We came to Gumaghat.
Okay.
No, Teker Ghat. Teker Ghat.
Okay.
And my dad was so nervous, and he was worrying about me. And then he said, I don't know what we will do. So one day, suddenly my brother came from Meghalaya, from Agartala, Melagor. He came and we took a part in a boat. We stayed in a boat and we came to Gumaghat.
Okay.
That's a, oh yeah,
Gumaghat is
Gumaghat.
but
Okay, I have to, came to Balat.
Okay.
When we came to
Balat, now in Meghalaya.
Yeah, Balat. On the truck, my dad was sitting in front with the driver and my brother.
So their plan was, let me clarify some of the things. Haider came to look for them. I don't know how, maybe he indicated the freedom fighter to come through this route so he could come and look for them. So Haider came in Teker Ghat while they are trying to get across the border But when they found Tekergat, when Haider found them in Tekergat, then he's the one took the lead to guide them wherever they needed to go. So their journey was from Tekergat with a boat for a few kilometers to border, and then from there they walked to Balat. So Balat is, and their goal was to reach Balat and then Shillong and then Guwahati and then fly back to Agartala. So there was a journey from Balat to Shillong. I believe Haider already pre-arranged because through the army personnel, because he had help from Brigadier Singh, Sabek Singh, BSF. That was 91st BSF. I think he was a second in command or commander.
Sylhet sector, I guess.
Balat was north of Sylhet, but there was sector 5, yeah. But you know, he coordinated through the army. I believe I don't know the detail. She doesn't know either. But that's my assumption, researching all this stuff.
I think you still had that weapon, I mean, that revolver.
And the grenade, yeah, with me.
So
I'm carrying all the time. Nobody knew.
got it via flight. I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, that is a long story. Okay, we came to Balat, and from there we started. My brother said, "Oh, then there's a big thing. What happened? My dad has a beer, and he was sitting in front of the truck.
Okay.
So there was a police, patrolling police. He saw, and he stopped the truck. He said, then my brother introduced himself. I am this and that, and this is my dad when we are coming out from East Pakistan. And then that police officer said, I cannot do anything. You have to meet the major. And uphill there was a major. My brother went up and he took a permission. He told us you have to stay 4 days.
Okay.
So we went to one of the house. That the house was the lady, they were in East Pakistan and they moved to Assam. So we stayed there 4 or 5 days, and then from there we came to Shillong. He told us there are 4 or 5 truck is going full of freedom fighter. You just put your dad and mom and your sister, daughter. You have to do, but when you go by slowly and one by one. Don't go all together. So we came and we sat on the beach. Okay, actually we are writing my
Biography.
memoir. So he knows better.
I don't know better, but you're confusing from time and place, I guess.
Yeah.
So from Balat when they went to from Balat to Shillong, they didn't have a transport. Apparently, there was no bus or trucks or going from Shillong to Balat. It was at that time Indian government was sending trucks every so often, maybe 2 or 3 days to transport the refugees, basically refugees and younger boys, So they end up staying in Balat, and that major in that location, it directed them to go to certain house to stay while they are waiting for the truck. And then that's what she's talking about. The couple was from East Pakistan. Was it from Mamanshing?
No, Kishorganj.
Okay, the couple was from Kishorganj, and they stayed there for the duration, I think 2-3 days, till the bus, the truck was available.
Okay.
So what they did, in order to accommodate most people, is open truck. The major stood there, asked them to go on a file and in the back of truck so they can accommodate as many people as possible. So I can see that need, because there are hundreds of or thousands of people are coming and gathering in certain locations, and they have to transport them to various camps. So that was the story she was trying to tell. So what's there from there?
Yeah, from Balat, my brother rent a taxi, rent it a cab.
Cab, taxi.
Yeah,
Yeah, trucks,
Yeah.
three ton. I mean, half the track, or 3/4 truck, the open truck.
yeah, we came to Shillong, and after staying there couple of days, my brother said we have to go, so he hired a cab. So we drove to Guwahati. Guwahati, yeah. Guwahati, and then we tried to fly from there. And we went to the airport. They said that all seats were booked, so maybe you come tomorrow. Well,
Let me refine that story.
Okay.
When they got there, the flights were delayed. Obviously, they were delayed. They couldn't get in time because apparently it was raining that day and the traffic was slow. When they got there, the two flights were delayed, most likely because of weather, and they had 3 tickets. There are 5 people, so they decided not to break up the group. So they stayed, and apparently there was a newly opened rest house adjacent to the airport, very close to the airport. I don't know how far it is, and she doesn't recall. The airport authority kind of arranged for them to stay. I suppose because Indian authority saw Captain Haider introduced, and they were cordial enough to make their arrangements. So after a couple of days, they came back in the airport. Again, they couldn't have 5 tickets in the same plane. So they break up. There one, you and Haider, you and mom. Another was Haider and her father, his father, and the niece. So that's what they were in 2 flights.
Right.
so we flew to Agartala, we came there, and there was
Well,
Khaled.
you didn't tell the
I
important
think the
story.
Indian authorities allowed you to carry the weapons, I guess.
Yeah, so they
There was
stopped
a
them.
big problem. They came to my brother, told I have a pistol and a grenade, and then they won't allow it. And so my brother shows a letter that their mission is secret. Nobody should ask question. They found that, and the signature of a major, so they didn't do anything.
It
So
was a signature of Brigadier Pandey, Brigadier Sabik Singh.
Pandey, I guess.
No, this was a letter from Sabik Singh.
Brigadier Shabik Singh. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Brigadier Shabik Singh was very close to Captain Haider at that time.
oh
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
Because I
very
have
yes.
a
close.
picture of both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we flew to Agartala. Once we reached the airport, we saw Khalid Musharraf and another jeep is waiting for us to pick us up. So from there we went to the hospital, Bangladesh hospital, Bisramganj. We went there, but we didn't stay. We came to the Agartala, Melaghar, Khalid Musharraf's tent, and Khalid Musharraf said, "Haider, your parents came, so they can stay in my tent, and I can
Was it
go."
tent or
And
the
it's a
house?
small house. We stayed there, and he stayed in a tent. And my dad is not nice. He's staying in a tent, and we took over his house. This is a single bed, single room with tin shed, and and the parts of the wall was made by the ammunition card. So we stayed there, and then from there's a big story. Then we got a house in Malagar. It's a made of soil.
Okay.
Mud
House.
hut, really.
Yeah, we stayed there. And I was pushing my brother to put me on the hospital. He said, okay, I will do it, but there is some problem. I'll let you know, and I will take you there. So after maybe 2-3 weeks later, 2 or something, he came with Captain Halim. He passed away too. Captain, he took me to the Bangladesh Bisramganj hospital. And then I started working.
Could you tell me a bit about the Bisramganj Field Hospital? How was it? And you were a doctor, of course. So, how was the medical facilities there, and like how it was established? People who were behind this establishment. Could you talk a bit about that, ma'am?
Okay, behind is Dr. Zafarullah. He passed away recently. Dr. Mubin, Dr. Nadim, and there are some final year medical student, Dr. Morshed, Dr. Kiran. He lives in Virginia, and Zubair. He came pretty late, and another dentist, and another Dr. Lutfar. So
Q Mahmood.
Oh yeah, the Q Mahmood. Farooq. His nickname was Farooq, so I used to call him Farooq.
And ma'am, was Lieutenant Akhtar from Fort Bengal with you?
That's right. Let me give you that story. I think she has a hard time to track it. So, Lieutenant Akhtar was in Brahmanbaria. The 4th East Bengal Regiment was dispersed in the time of non-cooperation movement from Kumilla Cantonment. And Akhtar was, as a medical officer of that company, I think it's Charlie Company. They name it Alpha, Charlie, Delta, and all this thing. I think Charlie Company. And the other companies of 4th East Bengal Regiment was dispersed in Sylhet. And that's where Khaled Musharraf was. So I think it was 27th.
Was that Shamsher Nagar? From Shamsher
That's
came to
Sylhet. That's from Sylhet. That's in Sylhet.
Sylhet district, right?
Yeah. So on 27th March, the Shafat Jamil was a second in command. Major Shafat Jamil was second in command of that Charlie Company, and they took over the Pakistan Army commander Khizr Khan, his Lieutenant Colonel, and then another
Yes, Lieutenant Colonel.
Khizr Khan, yeah. So you know a lot of it. Another officer and few soldiers, they subdued them, they took over the command, and then Khaled Musharraf and his units came in Brahmanbaria and then moved to Teliapara. That's where the 4th April meeting was with other sector command like Jia Rahman, few other colonels, and Colonel Osmani, Colonel Rob, and Brigadier Pandey, and all these people were there. That's the first official meeting of the forces with the Indian connections. So they brought a ambulance, because the ambulance was with Lieutenant Akhtar, who was a doctor, and then after the meeting, the 4th East Bengal had their headquarters moved from Teliapara to Shimantupur. It's in border town in Agartala, across the Bibi Bazar in East Pakistan. There's a river in between that forms the border. So they moved their headquarters, and that's where Khaled Musharraf advised Akhtar to set up a medical setup. That was probably in mid-April or second week of April, something on that. So Akhtar went around, found a small cowshed, abandoned cowshed. He converted that to a first medical facility of the 4th East Bengal Regiment, or Sector 2. From there, it moved to, I think in May 9th, the medical facility moved to Shonamura. In the meantime, on 5th May, Dr. Nazim and a couple other guys came in Sector 2 headquarters in Motinagar, and they were sent by Khaled Mosharraf to set another tent facility in Shonamura. But when they set up the tent facility, medical facility in Shonamura, that's where the May 9th had a fight between Pakistan Army and the freedom fighter in Bibi Bajar, and they mortar shelled Shonamura, and there are a lot of injured people. They managed it and transferred to Shonamura Hospital and GB Band Hospital. And then, since Akhtar was in army, he took over the management of the Shonamura facility, and then he moved to Forest Rest House partly. And then a few weeks later, the Forest Rest House, I guess the conservator, Mr. Banerjee, gave the permission to use the whole compound as a medical facility. The patient was in the rest house and the staff was in the tent. Then again, in July, in July, there was another shelling. But by the time they figured out that it was Shonamura is still only 4 or 5 kilometers from the border, and they figured out that could be another sabotage. And they were planning to move the facility, but it was in a slow pace. On the day of shelling, they moved the whole thing, medical facilities, from Shonamura to what you call Daroga Bagicha, or Daroga Bagan. It's somewhere midpoint between Shonamura and Melakar. So from there, that's at that time, this is the time when the medical facility is still in Shonamura. Dr. Jafarullah and Dr. Mubin, who represented BMA of UK, at that time BMA of UK, Bangladesh Medical Association of UK, United Kingdom, the Bengali physicians there dissociate themselves from Pakistan Medical Association and form this organization. And they decided they're going to do something about the country. And they started raising funds by having 10 pounds each physicians every month. And then they sent Jafarullah and Mubin to Warfront to find out how they can help. Right. So Jafarullah came in. There's a long story about his travel and all these things. I don't know.
Jafarullah had actually left his education midway and
both Mubin and Dr. Jafarullah was in training. Mubin was in orthopedics and Jafarullah was in vascular surgery. So they both came in to figure out how to help Bangladesh war. Right. And then when they came to Kolkata, they saw the went to Warfront, and they brought some financial gift from BMA UK and then gave it to the exile government. And then finally came to Agartala, I think late June. Agartala, that's when they went to, late June, they went to meet Khaled Mosharraf and Akhtar. And their plan is to build a bigger hospital with the support of BMA UK. And they promised they will supply the medicine, instrument, all the building expenses and all those things. And then Khaled Mosharraf was convinced and he agreed. Khaled Mosharraf, in the meantime, applied for a grant from exiled Bangladesh government, and that grant came through in mid-July. That's when the Bangladesh hospital started building at Bisramganj. After Jafarullah went back to raise the fund and materials, and Mubin stayed back to implement the plan. So Mubin and Akhtar found the locations, and that's where they started. The location was Habul Banerjee's uh, lychees orchard. In fact, growing other things, lychees, oranges, and pineapple, other fruits, and that's where the Bangladesh Hospital was established. Um, so she came in end of August. She came in Melagar by middle August. The hospital was already established, already constructed, and started to function. And in the meantime, when the hospital opened, the Dr. Nazim and medical student Jubair, who was in Sector 2 headquarters in Melagar, they are transferred to the hospital, and there are other medical students who are in the Sector 2 subsector. They came in the hospital to serve the hospital as a staff, medical staff. So that's what, when she was appointed at the end of August, Dr. Akhtar was already transferred. There are some, I guess, the word would be conflict and disorganization as a part of behavior of Dr. Akhtar. So the command felt that he needs to be moved out of that positions to separate, so the hospital can be ran in smooth fashion. That neither of us know the detail, but that was the end. In the army, it doesn't take a whole lot to transfer people. It's just say, go there. That's not your place anymore.
I remember a picture of Lieutenant Akhtar at the Shalda Nodi area.
Yeah, that was later part. The Shalda Nodi is the subsector where he was transferred to. As he was transferred to as a regimental medical officer of 9th East Bengal, which is a newly formed East Bengal regiment. So that was stationed in Shalda Nodi sector. So that picture, in fact, was in November when that area was liberated. That's way,
right?
Yeah. That was way before before the entire country was liberated. So that's the story. And then when she came arrived, she insisted on joining the Bangladesh. While she was coming from Guwahati, Haider told her that hospital is being built, and obviously she got excited about it and be able to join the Liberation War. And I believe retrospectively the analysis is because of that conflict with the Akhtar and other individuals who were working with them, they need to be resolved before she's made the commander of the Bangladesh hospital. The hospital was under the command of Bangladesh Army, so it has to be gone through the army process.
So, ma'am, what was your role in this hospital? Like, you were a doctor, and like, how did you actually work there, and how many? I mean, the kind of people.
Excuse me. My role was collecting the medicine, bandages all the time. We didn't add anything. We are using the same thing after washing with soap, and then again, no sterilization system.
Okay.
So I used to go in Agartala and used to go every dispensary, met the doctor, do you have any physician sample? I used to collect them even in the hospital. BM,
Government of Bangladesh.
Huh?
GB Hospital.
Agartala's famous
GB Hospital.
Right.
Govindabal Bank Hospital.
So we used to go there, and they used to give us some supply, and we used to come and use on the patients. After that, Dr. Zafarullah, he was in England that time. He organization with the Bangladesh Bengali doctor Mile. They collected lots of medicine, clothes, and they just send it. And it came to the Bisramganj hospital, and we used to devote it with that, use those medicine, bandage, whatever it is. We didn't have any problem of medicines. So I used to do and I used to get the kerosene oil.
Okay.
There's a, there is a event is that we used to have the hurricane with the kerosene,
Mm-hmm.
and there is no electricity,
Mm-hmm.
nothing. So and torchlight. We to do the surgery at night. So
And this
doctor,
will, ma'am, wounded personnel, Mukti Bahini people.
oh yeah, Mukti Bahini and some Indian army people was there too,
Okay.
and the villagers are from there around the Aganda hospital.
All right. I think, can I inject
Yeah,
that?
please, please. Definitely.
She had a dual role. As obviously as a physician, she treated the injured and sick freedom fighters. The Bangladesh hospital worked as a hospital for the freedom fighters and medical service for the refugees and the local people. They had outpatient services where
Okay.
the local people came in get the services.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the medicine concerned, most of the medicine was sent by the BMA, and there are the GB Pan Hospital, the couple physicians, Dr. Roy and Dr. Mankar Chaudhary, one was the superintendent, one was a chief surgeon. They're very, very helpful to Bangladesh Hospital in terms of supply medicine and IV fluids. You know, IV fluids is not always available or could be sent easily. So those are things, and they're helpful. And the local charitable organizations came forward as the Bangladesh Hospital gained its reputations. So there are, as in wartime or as in crisis, the help come from all directions, and it really came through. Is sources or primarily international and Indian sources. There was the supply source. Obviously, the emotional support was tremendous from the public, and the administrative support and the BSF support. That was great. The structures. We have several. The part I'm describing, I was not there, so you might think I was there. I'm describing. The structure was made of primarily bamboo. There's a bamboo pole, bamboo trusses, bamboo wall, bamboo roof. Everything is bamboo, and there's some straw was used
Bamboo
occasionally.
I've seen those pictures
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
bamboo stuff.
yeah. So it's primarily the bamboo, test bamboo.
Very basic. I mean, there was a Bangladeshi flag, and her picture was there with, I think,
Yes.
few doctors and one BSF person with Mr. Banerjee.
Oh, that was I think Brigadier Pandey.
Yeah, that was bigger panda.
Okay.
He visited a few times. Yeah, yeah. So as I said, did they treat injured freedom fighter? Yes. The hospital capacity started with about 200 beds, and nobody really knows exactly how many beds ended up, because they ended up expanding the hospital capacity in two stages. At the end, some people say 400, some people say 480, but that seems like a little out of reality. But anyway, that's the going number. It started 200 beds and increased to a significant larger number of beds available or facility available. Again, bed was out of bamboo poles and bamboo ties, and in some places they
I guess.
yeah, katia, yeah. That's the word I was looking for, Bangla. Yeah, katia.
খাটিয়া বলে ওটাকে।
হ্যাঁ, খাটা, আমাদের দেশে খাটা বলে না?
And ma'am,
Yeah.
most of the wounds that were there on these people, I mean, they were mostly like from battles, right? That you had to treat.
Yes.
From the battle, Pakistan Army, yes.
Well, again, most of the injury was gunshot injuries, and because the guerrillas never confronted
Yeah.
directly, তাই না? So they had hit and miss. They hit, and the Pakistan Army hit back, and then the injury was mainly from gunshot. There were some occasional blast injuries. That may be more from the grenade. And I know there's searching that one freedom fighter died from blast injury. I don't know whether was it because of the mortar shell or a grenade bursted close to him. So they managed it initially, survived, but then infection got out of the control and he died from infections.
Tetanus.
No, that was tetanus. There's another person who had tetanus. They transferred to JB Penn Hospital, and at that time was 53 years. At that time, there was no really effective treatment of tetanus, and the treatment was to respiratory support. And I recall we didn't have the respirators were not available then, and not in East Pakistan. Only few was available. I was not sure whether was available in JB Penn Hospital. Obviously, that patient died in Agartala Hospital. I'm sure we don't have a number how many freedom fighters died in Agartala Hospital, but you know.
Because I think the wounds must have been pretty grievous.
Yeah. So that's the thing. They realize they have a limited resources. They have limited manpower and expertise. So they took care of the simpler one, and the complicated one or the serious one has been transferred immediately to JB Penn Hospital. Dr. Mubin, before the hospital was arranged, they made these Tripura Health Authority.
Move your laptop a bit to yourself, like your face is actually being shown as half, I think.
Oh, you want to see my face? Okay.
Well, of course, like, why not?
So Dr. Mubin made the arrangements before the hospital was made to this understanding with Tripura Health Authority. They can transfer this sick and injured to different hospital, but it ended up mainly in the JB Penn Hospital because the chief surgeon, Dr. Roy, and the superintendent, Dr. Chaudhary, was more cordial. And then we can connect that because they're originally one from Dhaka, one was from Kumilla. So they had kind of moral sympathy and support. The Tripura Authority also foresaw that need. They expanded the surgical ward and they expanded the staff, and that was very what do you call?
Of course, that would help a lot.
Otherwise, I mean, that would suffer the local care, local patients, populations as well if they didn't expand that facility. So
one more thing, I had another question. Like, it was like regarding your brother, ma'am. I mean, how often did you see him? And I think I also saw a picture of yours with President Syed Nazrul Islam and Major Khalid Musharraf. And this was in which time?
President gave
There's a picture of you.
Yeah. They came to
Musharraf, and in front is President Syed Nazrul Islam.
Yeah, he came and Khalid Musharraf. Yeah, we did some. I don't know who took the picture.
that was in October. That was in October.
Okay.
I think to be precise, October 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ma'am, how often did you see your brother? Like, he was mostly training the crack platoon and everybody else.
I just saw him once.
Okay.
Once or excuse me, to me. And my parents was living in a mud house close to the tent where the freedom fighter was training. They couldn't even see. One day my dad was so angry. He went in the morning, he came afternoon. He got mad. My বাংলায় বলছি ছেলেটা এত বেয়াদব আমার সঙ্গে দেখা করতে আসলো না, খুব রেগে গেছিলেন। যাই হোক, I saw him once or twice. Excuse me. Once I saw he was coming to Bangladesh, East Pakistan. There was a two guy, he bought them. They're sending them to kill the governor or whoever it is. And after the guy killed the কি ছিল ওটার নাম?
Munam Khan.
Munam Khan,
Right.
he brought him to our hospital to show us the who killed the governor.
Right.
That's it. This time, that's it. I couldn't see him. No.
I think you saw him before on 12th December when they are planning to come inside Bangladesh, East Pakistan, then East Pakistan. And before that, you saw him before the apartment as a commander. She saw one or two times while she's waiting in that with her parents, and then after that, a couple times.
And when your brother was in Dhaka, I think he had the sweater that you had presented him during the surrender ceremony. I guess.
That's the jacket I got from when he came to our house. He asked me, "Can you give me some pant?" Because his clothes was with us, the trunk. So I gave him 2 pants and that jacket. That jacket he bought from Landikotal.
Okay.
And when the surrendering ceremony, he was wearing that.
Yeah. I mean, he was just beside Niazi, I think, and
Yes.
Yeah, Niazi and
Yes.
Aurora. General Niazi and
Left to the Niazi. I think we have the picture here.
he is the main guy in front. Then is Niazi. Then is General Aurora.
Yeah,
Aurora.
In the
I'll show you the picture. We have framed him, named everything. Just hold on.
Yeah, this one exactly. This one is there. Is the one that was there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We have it.
And I think there was Lieutenant Colonel Shafiul as well during the surrender ceremony. And there is one picture where only his cap is seen. But this is the only picture of Major Haider in the Dhaka surrender ceremony part, I guess.
Yeah, I think Colonel Shafiullah and the group captain
A.K. Khondokar was there.
A.K. Khondokar was, in fact, one of the several pictures when the signature of the instrument surrender been done. A.K. Khondokar was standing next to Aurora. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything more?
And so one more thing, after the surrender was over, did you just come back to Kishorganj, or was you still?
No, I was with the patients.
Okay.
Iskatam, there was a house. About
He's asking what did you do with the Bangladesh hospital?
we dismantled it. There are patients. They came to East Pakistan, Bangladesh. They were excited. They left, but after about 30 to 35 patients was with us, with me.
Okay.
We came to Kumilla, ladies
Hospital.
school or college, I don't remember. So we stayed there with all the patients, and from there we came to Dhaka.
Okay. She made it extremely short.
Okay.
After on 16th, it's a long story, so you have to make it longer. So they stayed there, and then obviously there are a lot of sick people, and about where they're sick, they couldn't be transferred. 1/3 of the patients were transferred to through Indian Authority to Lucknow. Lucknow Hospital.
Musharraf was also there, who went to Lucknow.
Yeah, he ultimately went to Lucknow. Khalid Musharraf was injured, went to Agartala Army Hospital, and then to Guwahati, and then from Guwahati to Lucknow Army Hospital. But anyway, some of the serious people, injured freedom fighter, couldn't be discharged, couldn't be taken back because facility in Bangladesh was not there to treat. So they were transferred with the Indian Medical Corps help. They are transferred to Lucknow Hospital, and the people who are in recovery over next 2-3 weeks, they went home.
Okay.
And then those people who couldn't go home remained at Bangladesh Hospital. It's about, she says 30 or 35, she doesn't remember exactly. And obviously, she didn't have a way to manage that, waiting for the directions of Bangladesh forces, where to go with the patients and all this thing. They waited, and finally they moved with the patients on January 22nd from Bangladesh Hospital to Kumilla. And before they transferred, before they came into Bangladesh, they came to Kumilla. Dr. Jafarullah and her came into Kumilla and met the then DC Nur Nabi to get a permission to house the patients and the staff. There were a lot of staff to Kumilla College Ladies Hostel. When they came with the patients, some of the patients were transferred, was supposed to be transferred to Kumilla CMH, but they couldn't accept it because they were in disarray. They are not able to. So all of the patients went to Kumilla Ladies Hostel, and after a couple of days, they went back and transferred some of the patients, and some patients remained with them in Kumilla Ladies Hostel. From there, on a week or 10 days, during this time, some people got better or anxious to get home, who were close to Kumilla, went home, and remaining 10, 12 patients came to Dhaka, and then there was a temporary Bangladesh hospital made. That's where they stayed, and within a few days, they were also released. And then the Bangladesh hospital was temporarily located at Iskaton, 123 Iskaton Road.
Iskaton, okay.
Iskaton.
Okay, Iskaton in Dhaka.
So, but she did not join in the army till early part of February or mid-February. She joined in Dhaka CMH in February.
So, and after that, she was promoted. You were promoted as captain, right? Because
I was captain then. Actually, what happened, that's a funny thing. General Usmani came to visit our hospital in Bisramganj. And he had just me Captain Sitara.
okay,
Since then, I became a captain.
okay,
That's a funny part. Yeah.
okay.
Well, you're due to be captain anyway.
I don't know. but
Officially, if you join the then in Pakistan Army,
Lieutenant, I guess.
no, it's a lieutenant.
No, lieutenant.
You join as a lieutenant within a year. That's automatically within a year you're promoted to captain. That's automatic. And just being a physician, there was normal process of the captain course of the medical officer.
Okay.
So you join in April 70, and you're due to be captain in April 71. You join in Bangladesh Hospital in August, so you are due for the captainship anyway.
yeah, he was in army with Shafiullah, Sector 3.
Yeah.
Sector 3, right.
Sector 3.
So that's the up to liberation. So that's where I met. I met her in CMH Dhaka.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where
I mean, as a patient.
No, I was in army too. I was in third sector 3. So they posted me in CMH in January, and she came in.
In the army or like after the liberation war, right, sir?
No. I volunteered in the army. Volunteered in Liberation War on March 20.
Mukti Joddha.
Yes, I volunteered on March 29 from Mymensingh.
He was in Mymensingh Medical College. People think we met in the medical college. No, I am from Dhaka and he's from Mymensingh Medical College.
Yes, ma'am. You're from two different medical college.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's not in Mymensingh area mostly, or
No. The story is Second Bengal Regiment,
right?
which was stationed at Jaidapur garrison, which is close to Dhaka. Yeah, I'm sure you understand that. And 28th night, the Jaidapur Second Bengal Regiment was left over. I think two company or one company was left, and three companies already dispersed, just like they did in
Every
Fort.
battalion, East Bengal regiment.
Yeah, they were dispersed in Jamalpur, Tangail, and Mymensingh itself. So this remaining company in Jaidapur, they revolted out, killing some Pakistani officers, and they traveled from Jaidapur to Mymensingh on early morning of 29th. I, as a physician, was in training in Mymensingh Medical College as a surgical hospital.
Okay.
So, couple of the army doctor, one army physician and one Captain Nasim, then now Lieutenant General, came into the hospital to seek for volunteer physician.
Okay.
I am one of them who joined them as a civilian to the Liberation War. But I stayed with that Sector 3, which was north of Sector 2, till the liberation, and then they inducted me in the army during the Liberation War. So they posted me after the Victory Day in CMH Dhaka. That's where I met her. I knew about her, about Bangladesh Hospital. I never met her, but I met her in CMH.
Okay. So by now you are also a commissioned officer, right, sir? Or you are
I'm a captain.
captain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same with the same ranks, both of you.
Yes.
But I was senior than him.
Yes,
He used to salute me when he was in Dhaka CMH.
no, I salute you now too.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful love story after the war, right? Wonderful.
Yeah, that's the war created. If the war was not there, I would never meet her. I was due to come to the United States in June 71. I would never meet her. We'd never cross our path at all.
No.
Yeah.
I was actually very lucky to meet General Shafiullah in December 2022. The last
Really?
war, I guess.
Oh, okay. That's very nice.
He's the surviving sector commander.
The last,
Only surviving sector commander.
right, the only one.
Yeah. Where did you meet him?
I met him in December 2022
Where?
at his residence. He was there.
Oh, you want to see him, huh?
Yeah.
I see.
And 71 is something like I just kept on doing, and then I realized that 71 veterans who are alive, 71 war veterans, they will not be alive in the next 10 years. Most of them will not be there.
Yeah. The majority has.
I have to keep these, interactions alive
No.
for everybody. So I just started contacting as many people I could, and people reached both from India, Bangladesh, and freedom fighters like ma'am who are staying in abroad. Yeah.
Well, no.
That's very nice of you.
You could certainly patch up the personal stories as a documentary of Bangladesh Liberation War. I was talking to somebody else, and they say there are a lot of horror stories, but also at the same time, as any war, there are some good story in during the war. If you could patch up those two sides,
Absolutely.
there'll be something to watch.
I actually took an interview of an Indian Army veteran. This person is a colonel in the Indian Army, retired of course. Everybody knows him as the father of a Kargil war hero. So I took this person's interview, and like a 71 war veteran, and he brought out some actual atrocities that were committed by Pakistan army on Bengali women. And like he said to me about some instances where he saw a lot of women whose hair were cut and were kept
Yes.
in camps, I guess, so that they can't commit
Yes.
suicide because they were molested by
Exactly.
Pakistani army.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
these things also I'm trying to bring them out as much as possible so that this thing is not forgotten. And I'm just
Yeah, no. So the Second World War documentary or films has been made 30, 40 years later. It's been 50 years, but the films and documentaries still could be made.
yeah, that
and
is even
so-
what I am planning to do in the film industry. Like I have to do something regarding this 71 war. There has been not many good films to watch, at least that can grab some audience's hearts. So that needs to be
Right, right.
from
Yeah,
both
I agree.
Bangladesh and India, I guess.
Yeah. Hmm. You say something about Jalal in
Oh.
English. Oh, where was he and how you came to know him? Yeah.
I came to know Jalal especially after Liberation War. He was very close to my brother, and he did lots of action in Dhaka to for protesting, and I think he's crack platoon.
Yeah,
White
it's
platoon.
He's a
part of
crack.
He
it.
was in white platoon.
Yeah.
Another part of, I think, Major
Another-
Haider's guerrilla team.
Yeah, there was about 48 or 59 group in Dhaka. He is one of the group, active groups.
Right.
And they liberated all the action they did in Dhaka, crack
Crack and other platoons.
other platoon, yeah. What about the নাম কি জানো?
I don't know all the
Really, you see.
names. So there are, as I said, there are 58 groups of guerrillas
In Dhaka.
in and around Dhaka. So is being physicians, we didn't keep up with those activities what our army officers are planning. So we just had to take care of the injured one.
I also took an interview of Mr. Linu Billa. I think he is one of the relatives of Altaf Mahmood. Sorry, not Altaf Mahmood.
No.
Yeah.
This person who wrote the song Amar Bhaiyer Rokte Ranga.
Yeah, Altaf Mahmood.
Altaf
Yeah,
Mahmood.
she's a sister-in-law of Altaf Mahmood.
Okay.
Uh,
So this person was
yeah.
also like tortured because he was in the crack platoon, and he was. And I took his interview with Zahiruddin Ahmed sir. So
I see.
were there.
Okay.
And they also talked about Major Haider.
Jalal. Yeah, they are all part of his group, guerrilla group in Dhaka. So
Right.
Dhaka was under Sector 2, and most of the guerrilla actions in Dhaka was conducted by Major Haider. And of course, there are other territory in Sector 2 like Kumilla and Noakhali, and part of Faridpur was under Sector 2. So there are a lot of activities in Naranganj and a lot of activity in Ashuganj through the guerrillas of Sector 2. So and all the details are not known to her really, because she was busy managing the patients, and she
Patient,
was not
yeah.
involved in the planning and organizing the guerrilla actions inside the country.
They came to know very well because they used to say she is the sister of Major Haider, Sitara Appa.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, sir.
Well, I know Jalal was from the stories. I know he was pretty active on December 16, arranging the surrender ceremony.
I think he
Yes,
brought the chairs
not
and
that-
tables.
Yeah, he brought the chairs and tables from Dhaka Club, and he was with Haider. In fact, that day he stayed with Haider most of the time.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You take care.
I will.
Okay.
And I
Okay,
did this only
thanks.
for him, like bringing you people up again after like just for him, because like I wanted some recognition for him as well. কারণ উনি India
Yeah.
Yeah.
speaks so much about India and Indian health that it seems like we also owe something for how much he supports us and how much he
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
supports
sure.
everybody, actually everybody.
Yeah.
He's seems like everybody has gone away from the liberation war. He has carried the
Yeah.
mantle to publicize it as much as he can,
As much as he
which is a noble idea.
Right.
In fact, it gives the younger generation knowledge of the liberation war.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Younger generation like you. You're the younger generation.
Oh, yeah, that's what that yesterday
I,
call you are saying.
I will be doing it today.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care.
Take care.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay. Bye.